Welcome to the Fusion and Futures Academy College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. Each will have around 6 minutes to share more about their institution. We'll be around for the entire session to answer questions. My name is Anna and I'll be your facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule on our website. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/fusion. And now I'd like to turn it over to our first presenter from Beacon College. Take it away.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sheila Faulkner-Lozer, and I'm the transition counselor for the Pacific West region for Beacon College. I'm excited to be here this evening. Beacon College. So Beacon College is the first accredited college in the nation to offer 4-year degrees exclusively to students with ADHD and learning differences. However, if the students are not interested or the bachelor's degrees is not their option, then we also offer associate degrees as well. It was founded in 1989 by visionary parents who wanted to prepare their students for post-secondary pathway, and with this, out of this became Beacon College. So where is Beacon College located? We are located in Leesburg, Florida, about 45 minutes north of Orlando, and we all know what Orlando is famous for, the theme parks. We have Disney World, SeaWorld, Knott's Berry Farm, so we're really close by all the theme parks, and it really coincides with a lot of the programs that Beacon College offers with the tourism and the escapism that's become part of Florida's economic makeup. We've been voted the #1 by best colleges and best value colleges for students who learn differently 5 years in a row. And again, we're providing bachelor degrees to students who learn differently, again, having ADHD and other learning differences. Some of our academic supports, we have diverse career-oriented majors. Anthropology is our very popular major, most popular major. It is working with animals. You're looking at animals, working with animals in the shelters. You're working with animals at the zoos, the theme parks, animal husbandry, as well as other majors that we do offer. Business management. We have minors, study abroad programs, and a 4-year scaffolded career development model, so that you're able to have your career development integrated with your ongoing curriculum as soon as you start when you're a freshman all the way up until when you're a senior. And they place you in internships in your junior and senior year with the hope that once you're finished with the internships, you're on your path to gainful employment, if not with that company, then with another. Then we're looking at our academic services, our automatic accommodations, which we have at Beacon. We have a Center for Student Success, where the student who wants is admitted, they are provided a learning specialist. We have a counselor, there's open learning, peer mentors, peer tutors, it's math lab, reading center, library. And we just have that all around support for those students who, again, learn differently. And we just wanted to put this out there. So roughly 80% of students with a learning disability do not receive accommodations at their college. And at Beacon, it's part of your packet as you come in. Everyone is aware of your learning differences so that you are able to be successful. They have student life and activities. They have freshman dorms, dorms for juniors and seniors. There's swimming pools, ton of recreation opportunities. Like I mentioned, the theme parks. We have 30 clubs on campus. It's just an amazing educational environment to come and live and thrive and have your educational opportunity there. Financial aid is available. We do offer scholarships. We do work with raise.me in order to get your scholarship information to us. You would be filling out an application and then with your high school information, and that way you're able to submit that documentation to be as part of your FAFSA, which is a free application for federal student aid. So we will work with families individually, and that way we can meet your goals. You meet your goals at the college. Well, we also offer our transition programs. So Alex Morriswood, who's our dean, has developed these 4 different transition programs that allows high school students from grades 10 through 12 to take part in one of our transition programs, either Summer for Success, the 3-week immersion program, Navigator Prep Junior, where you're learning about the college search, Navigator Prep, where you're the senior in high school and you're getting ready to work on your executive functioning, emotional regulation, social skills, learning difference awareness, and independent living skills. And then Beacon Foundation, you're actually taking college classes for credit. And how do you stay connected? We have different Navigator Prep information sessions coming on board. We also have the Beacon College, we call them deep dives. And with those, we look at different aspects of the college. We look at academics, faculty, how do we learn? And then also we have a virtual open house that's coming up as well. And then my contact information is there. I'll place it for you in the chat. And again, I hope you're able to check out Beacon College online, and hopefully we will see you there. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, you'll be hearing from Hofstra University.
All righty. Hope everyone's doing good today. My name is Frank Resto. I'm one of the assistant deans of admission here at Hofstra University. So I'm here to tell you a little bit more about the school. So we are a private 4-year institution on Long Island. We're a medium-sized school. And like I mentioned before, we are smack dab in the middle of Long Island. So we have tons of things to do on and around campus. Some of the things that we have to do are we have Roosevelt Field Mall, which is about 5 minutes down the road. It's a top 20 largest mall in the United States. Beaches on the north and south shores of Long Island. Eisenhower Park, which is a state park 2 minutes up the road. We're also very close to JFK Airport. So if you ever need to do any flying or you have any family coming to visit you, super duper accessible to the airport in that regard. Never a dull day around campus. We like to say we have the best of both worlds, so that if you prefer a quieter, green, grassy campus, we are a nationally registered arboretum, so we definitely have that. Tons of trees and flowers around campus. But if on the flip side of things, if you like the hustle bustle of the city, we're super duper accessible to Manhattan, about a 35-minute train ride away, about a 20-minute drive away from Queens. So it makes for awesome career and internship opportunities for our students that want to pursue some things in the city as well. Like I mentioned, we are a medium-sized school, about 6,000 undergraduate students, about 3,000 graduate and doctoral students, but we're spread over about 250 acres of campus land. So we have a small school sort of a feel. We have a 13-to-1 student faculty ratio and an average class size of about 21 students per class. So the classes that you're taking at Hofstra are going to feel very familiar to the classes that you'd be taking in high school, where you can raise your hand and ask the professor a question and build that relationship and rapport with the professors. We also have 165 different undergraduate program options for you to choose from. This is a list of all of them. So if you have something in mind that you're looking to study at Hofstra, we probably have it for you. Some of our more popular majors include communications, business, engineering, pre-med, and undecided, quite frankly, because we have so many majors. If you are interested in learning a little bit more about any of these majors that we have here, you can go to that website on the top there, hofstra.edu/majors, and peruse all of the different programs that we have, and take a look at some of the courses that you would take as a student within that major. We also offer opportunities for students to do double majoring, major minor, as well as accelerated 5-year bachelor master's programs as well. Stepping aside from our academics a little bit, we have tons of things to do at Hofstra that are, on the recreational and fun side. We're a Division I school. We have 21 Division I sports. Some of our more popular sports include men's basketball, women's volleyball, men's and women's soccer, track and field. It's an awesome way for our students to build that sense of community and show off their Hofstra pride. If sports are not really your thing, we also have 220 different clubs and organizations for you to join, anywhere from athletic clubs to academic clubs to music and dance, Quidditch club, you name it, we probably have it at Hofstra. And if we don't have a club that you're interested in joining for whatever reason, it's very easy to start your own. You just need a petition with 15 signatures and a staff member to back your cause, and you founded your own club at Hofstra. Our students are also very philanthropic, very involved in community service as well. Over 100,000 hours of community service spent in communities near and abroad from Hofstra University. We also have 4 years of guaranteed housing. So if you would like a place to stay on Hofstra's campus, we have a place for you to stay, whether that be a 2-person dorm or a 4-person suite, whatever your preference is. If you let us know, we will make it happen for you. So a little bit about our application and our deadlines. So we are an early action school. We also admit on a rolling basis. What that means is if you know for sure that you want to come to Hofstra, then you can submit an application to us anytime prior to that November 15th deadline, and we can get you an admissions decision about a month or so later on December 15th. Same goes for that December 15th deadline. We can get you a decision about a month later if you get us all your documents by December 15th. Those decisions are non-binding, so if you get accepted, you do not have to come to Hofstra. We want to give you as much time as you need to make that decision. But if you would like to send us your application early so you can get that early decision, well, we welcome it. Anytime after that December 15th deadline, we admit on a rolling basis. So if you get us your documents anytime before May 1st, we can definitely consider you for admission, consider you for merit-based scholarships, and the whole nine. We are also a test optional school. So if you feel like your test scores don't reflect who you are as a student, then you do not have to submit your test scores to us. We've been test optional for the past 7 years. We will be for the foreseeable future. A little bit about what we're looking for in our applicants. We like to see about a 3.7. That's the average of our admitted students. That's not a requirement for admission to Hofstra. That's just the average of our admitted students. We accept students below that 3.7 as well as above that 3.7. Our SATs and ACTs, we're looking for about an 1140 SAT and a 25 ACT. But like I said, we are test optional. So if you're unsure if you should submit your test scores, reach out to one of your admission counselors here at the university, and we'd be happy to guide you down the right path. So that being said, whenever you're ready to apply to Hofstra, you can do so via one of two ways. You can do so either the Common App, or you can go to hofstra.edu/apply, fill out either application, whichever one makes you feel more comfortable. We don't have a preference on which one you fill out. And if you would like to come and visit Hofstra, we've got some wonderful virtual as well as in-person opportunities for you to do so as well. If you go to hofstra.edu/virtual tour, you can get a nice little virtual feel for our campus, but I'd highly recommend that you come and visit if you can. Go to hofstra.edu/visit and sign up for one of our time slots there. I will drop my contact information in the chat for any of you guys who would like to learn more about Hofstra. Other than that, thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Next, we'll be hearing from Middlesex University, London.
I realized I was muted. Sorry about that. Okay. So hi, my name is Lillian. I'm an undergraduate currently at Middlesex University in London. I'm originally from upstate New York though, but I'm coming to you live from Platt Hall as one of the student accommodations here in London. So it's a little late on my time, but I'm here with you guys. So to begin, just a little bit about the university. We have over 140 countries represented in both the students and staff. So it's a really diverse university. It's one of the most diverse in all of the UK, which makes it a really conducive environment to meet and be taught by people from all over. And if you're coming abroad, that's something that's really, really fun. And also on average, we have a pretty small class size. It's about 18 students to one lecturer. I take BA Creative Writing and Journalism. So my course is about 25 kids in total, but we do have about 20K kids at this university. But in my classes in general, it's about maybe 12 to 15 kids who show up. So it makes for really personalized teaching, which is really great in a course where you need feedback all the time on your work. So Middlesex itself is located in Hendon, which is just about 20 minutes northwest from central London. So we're 20 minutes on the tube into any of the cool things you'll Google when you'll search London, like the Eye, Westminster Abbey. You can even go down and see the palace if you're interested. It's just 20 minutes away. And to me, it's kind of the best of both worlds to have Hendon where campus is located, just since it is a bit greener and it is a really residential neighborhood. So when you do want to focus and study, you can get away from city life. But if you are craving for that city life, then it's just really, really close. And I found while being here, London really has something for everybody as well. There's so many cultural opportunities. There's a bunch of free museums, especially for students. You can find a bunch of free deals. You can get memberships to libraries, discounted prices almost everywhere. So it's a really great student city. And in addition to that, there's a bunch of world-renowned restaurants and both modern and historical architecture. So like I said, there's really something for everyone. And down in the bottom left corner, this is a picture from Camden, I can't find my mouse, from Camden Market, which is about 15 minutes south of the university itself. So there's a bit of the city really close if you want to get in and just see a cool market. So at the university, there are 3 schools. There's the Arts and Creative Industry School, my school, Professional and Social Sciences School, and then the Science and Technology School. And collectively, each of these schools teach over 500 industry relevant majors. So there's definitely whatever you want to study, Middlesex probably has it. For those of you who don't know, a bachelor's degree in the UK is taught in 3 years instead of the typical 4 you would find in the United States. And that's just because we do not have any gen eds taught here. So as soon as you come to start studying, you start studying exactly what you're coming to study for. And master's is in 1 year, and that's just for the same reason as well. And this may all sound daunting to squeeze it all into 3 years, but Middlesex has great student engagement opportunities, like being an international student ambassador, which is what I'm doing now, as well as a bunch of well-being support for mental health. So our current entry requirements are on the screen. However, next year, Middlesex will be going test flexible for students who have a GPA of 3.4 and above, which is really fun. And however, STEM programs, despite going test flexible, will still require 2 AP exams in the area of your major. And then courses such as art or the performing arts or design will require either a portfolio, audition, or interview. But don't be worried if you don't have these exact requirements. You can definitely still apply, and you might be admitted for a foundation year, which will make your learning here 4 years, but a foundation year can be really helpful. It's basically a year 0 that will basically, it's integrated into the 3 years, and it successfully prepares you to start and complete years 1, 2, and 3. So a really great thing about schools in the UK, and something that drew me here specifically, was that tuition fees in the UK are generally lower than most of the US options. However, if you do need that extra support or finance, Middlesex does accept FAFSA federal loans. So that's really great, especially for US students. Just in case you are going abroad, things can be a bit more expensive on that hand. So it's really nice that if you do need that extra support, Middlesex does offer that. And on top of all of that, as soon as you apply, students are enrolled into merit-based awards, so you can get scholarships through your application. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm currently in student accommodation. I'm in Platt Halls, which is about a 15-minute walk from the university. I really enjoy in student accommodation so far. However, the pictures on the screen are from Olympic Way in Wembley. So it's right next to Wembley Park, and then Wembley Stadium, where the big arch is. There's often Live Aid was held there. So there's a bunch of huge events all the time, and it's really well known. So unlike typical US dorms, accommodation here includes a weekly cleaner, shared living space, and all bills are included. So you pay weekly, and you can pay ahead of time most times for the month, for the year, for a specific amount of time. And one of my favorite things especially is all dorms here are en suite, which means you have your own private bathroom and shower. So you don't have to worry about sharing with 15, 16 other kids all the time. But I would recommend, definitely if you're coming first year, to stay in student halls. So if you'd like to stay in touch, please email the email on the screen, americas.mdx. Someone will reach right back out to you. And you can also take a picture of the QR code on the screen and we'll get in touch with you, or you can get in touch with us, and make sure to check out our social media. We'd love to have you over here in London, so please apply.
Thank you. Next, you'll be hearing from Lynn University.
Hi, everyone. My name is Karen Fisher-Dickman. I am part of the admission team at Lynn University in Boca Raton, Florida. So for those of you who might not be familiar with our location, Boca Raton is located right between Fort Lauderdale and West Palm Beach. We are a small school of about 3,000 students with the average year-round temperature being about 75 degrees. So that's not a bad thing and not a bad spot to spend 4 years. Our students come from almost 100 different countries and 47 different states. With class sizes being small. Average class size is about 19, nothing's bigger than 30 with an 18-to-1 student to faculty ratio. The great thing about our campus is it truly is a melting pot. Nobody looks the same, nobody talks the same, nobody has the same background. And I think that's great, especially for a school our size. Sometimes you're not always seeing a diversity, but that's definitely not the case at Lynn. There's so many unique things that happen in the classroom at Lynn University. Our faculty are incredible. They all have really unique and really different backgrounds. They come from the industry and they're bringing that industry experience to the classroom. Everything is very hands-on. You're not going to have classes where faculty lecture at you for 2 hours, you take notes and then you take an exam. It's just not how we do things at Lynn. We think you learn the best by doing. That's why we have so many classroom discussions, guest speakers, internship opportunities for all of our students. We are an iPad school as well. So that means every single student that enrolls at Lynn receives an iPad Pro. All of their books are loaded right on there. So you're not having to purchase books. You're not having to lug books around because all of your books are loaded right onto that iPad. And you're able to use that right in the classroom. All of our classrooms have Apple TV in them. So if you are doing a class project or you're doing a presentation, all you do is you bring your iPad into the classroom, you share your screen, and boom, you're good to go. As you can see, we do have a number of different majors at Lynn, 45 plus majors to choose from. Our biggest are business communication and psychology, but we do have a little bit of everything. The nice thing about Lynn is that if you come in with your major selected, you're going to start taking classes in that major right away, first semester, freshman year. We don't make you wait until your sophomore or your junior year. Our thought behind that is we think if you know what it is that you want to do, you might as well jump in right away. That way, if you get into a major and think, maybe this isn't for me, you can still change your major and graduate in 4 years. We do have a core curriculum that all of our students take while they're at Lynn, regardless of your major. And these are some really practical classes that we feel that you can use in all parts of your life. It's very communication heavy, critical thinking, writing heavy, really giving you usable skills that you'll use in everyday life. You take classes in applied math and applied science, really teaching you is, should I buy a car, lease a car? Is it best? What's a good interest rate? How do I plan for my retirement? Financial literacy, things like that, things that you'll use for many, many years after you graduate from Lynn University. This is just a small list of some of our internships that our students have been able to complete over the last couple of years. Obviously, these are the hot ones that everybody's heard of, but students are really doing internships all over the country and all over the world. At Lynn, we run on a block schedule. So what that means is we still have the same fall semester and spring semester, just like every other university out there. We just take that semester and chop it up into 4 4-week blocks. So block A, B, C, and D, and you take 1 class per block. It's great. You take that class every single day for 4 weeks. At the end of that 4 weeks, you're finished with that class, you take your exams and you're done and you move on to the next block. So gone to the days of, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed out. I've had 3 tests, 2 papers, and a presentation all in 1 week, because you're only having to put all of your time and effort into that block. Having this block schedule gives students such flexibility to be able to work, to be able to do an internship, for our faculty to bring in guest speakers, to take students on field experience. So really makes the class so interactive. And that's really how all of our classes are set up. We are a residential campus, meaning housing is required for freshman and for sophomore year. We have doubles and triples, junior and senior year. We have a lot more options for housing in terms of some suites and some apartments. We have a brand new residence hall that's going to be opening this fall for our juniors and seniors. Even though his housing is not required for junior and senior year, we would love to have you. And that's why we are opening a new residence hall for the juniors and seniors. And like I said, that is a more of an apartment style setting, which is great. There is a lot going on campus. And I think that is partly because so many of our students, like I said earlier, come from such a great distance. When you're coming from another state or another country, we need to make sure that campus is really active. We are Division II for all of our athletic programs. We've won 25 national titles since 1991. We play in the Sunshine State Conference. We also have a really active theater and performing arts program. We have sororities and fraternities. We have political groups. We have religious groups. You name it, it's going on our campus, which is really exciting. But the city of Boca Raton is great too. It's got everything you need. So students have the best of both worlds with an active campus, but also an active city that we're located in. I work with all of the students that live and go to school throughout the state, throughout the United States. So if you scan this QR code, it's going to give you all of my contact information. I'd be more than happy to help answer any questions that you might have. We are in the Common App, so that makes it really easy to apply. We have an early action deadline of November 15th. That's early action, so it is non-binding. You can apply to Lynn and as many other schools as you like. And then we have our regular decision deadline of March the 1st. We do take everything into account when we are reading your application, and we are test optional, have been since 2014, so that's nothing new for us. So hopefully that's some good information that you have learned about Lynn University. And like I said, if you scan this QR code, it's going to give you all of my contact. I'd love to stay in touch and help you with any other questions that you might have. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Next, you'll be hearing from American University.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Jeremiah Rakowski. I'm a regional assistant director for American University, which is based in Washington, D.C., but I'm actually located in Southern California. I'm regionally based for the university. Kind of initially, what is AU? AU is a private liberal arts college located in Washington, D.C. This map here, when you look at our logo, what you're seeing is that AU's campus sits in a private residential neighborhood in the upper northwest of Washington, D.C., only 4 miles from the White House. It's a really safe, beautiful section of the city with full access to the rest of the surrounding cities. So I've heard others say it before, but we also believe that we provide you the best of both worlds, a nice, beautiful, traditional campus, and honestly, the safest and nicest section of Washington, D.C., but full access to D.C.'s metro region so that you can do all the things that we encourage you to do, such as get out there and do internships, have fun in your nightlife, and do all kinds of other things that come with living in a big city. We're a medium-sized university of over 8,000 undergraduate students. We do have quite a few graduate and law students, but you're not really feeling that population. But the thing is about American is that despite being a medium-sized university, honestly, so much about American feels smaller than that. Our average class size is only 23. Our student to faculty ratio is 11:1. Only 2% of courses offered at American University hold more than 50 students. So majority of your time, you're going to be in that smaller number. Even our campus size is a 90-acre campus that maybe takes, honestly, 15 to 20 minutes max to walk across campus. So that feels small as well. We're a diverse university with students from all 50 states and over 120 countries. Something that you would see immediately when you're on your campus, and something that you definitely feel as you venture out into Washington, D.C., one of the more cosmopolitan cities in the United States. We are a traditional college campus. There's honestly not much you can't do at our small private liberal arts campus that you couldn't do at a larger state university in your hometown or state. Residents life is something that is popular on campus. A majority of our students do live on campus for at least the first 2 years, but it's never required at AU. We actually guarantee it for the first 2 years, and then there's plenty of housing if you'd like to live on campus after that, as well as some off-campus housing that we do partner with. But it is a city. It's a city super connected by public transportation. So we have students living in Georgetown, Arlington, Virginia, Silver Spring, Maryland. There really isn't many areas you couldn't live in around the DC metro region and still get to class. And I've mentioned the public transportation numerous times. AU is one of 2 colleges that offers students unlimited use of public transportation. So as a student at AU, you get to use the bus system in the metro as often as you'd like to come and go, which is something our students definitely take advantage of. The experience for you as an undergrad is also very similar to a traditional college experience. We are a tier 2 research institution. We're a Division I athletic school. We have over 20 intramural and club sports teams. Lots of different student clubs and organizations, everything from political clubs, religious groups, you name it, community service clubs. We also are very active in Greek life. Out of our 29 sororities and fraternities, about 26% of our population participate in that. But it's definitely not something that you have to do at AU. If you're not into sororities or fraternities, that's not something you have to do at AU. A few things to note about AU student body is they can be described as busy, active, and engaged students. It shows when you start doing some research at AU for all the things that we're really highly ranked for. Most of it's because of the activity levels of our students. So when you're thinking about what's a good fit for American, is if you're a high achieving student that was busy in high school, you'd probably be a good fit at AU. Some examples of the busyness: 91% at AU complete at least one internship, 88% complete 2 or more. We're really buoyed by Washington, DC, honestly being an internship metro region. Another thing about AU is 70% of our undergraduate student body study abroad. We make it really easy for them. Really only have 2 rules. You have to at least be a sophomore, and you can do 2 semesters in a summer total. How you do those 2 semesters in the summer is up to you, but we're going to encourage you to do it. We have over 150 programs in over 50 countries worldwide, and we tend to attract a student that thinks globally minded, or is a globally minded citizen, and someone that would be willing to push their comfort zone. Something important to us at AU is the academic success of our students. We have an awesome academic support and access center that supports all of our students at AU. I showed you that we have just over 8,000 students. Our academic support and access center averages 6,000 student contacts on average that use the academic and access support center. One thing we're known for at AU that is a part of our academic support and access center is our world-renowned learning services program. It is a first-year transitional program for students that have learning disabilities. It's an ideal program for students that have learning differences that greatly affect reading and writing abilities. There's an application fee. It's a small cohort of about 25 students, and it's a first-year program only, but it is something we're really well known for. I would encourage you to look up that. We have 6 main colleges and schools, but bottom line is we have a lot of majors that we're really well known for, but we're also one of those schools that tells you undecided is okay. You're applying to be a fit for American University. You are not applying to a specific college or school or major. You have the ability in your first 2 years at AU to have experiences, talk to faculty, do research, talk to peer classmates, and then determine what it is you want to study, and then declare your major at the end of your sophomore year. So we give you that time that is needed to explore and become who you want to be, and learn more about what you want to study. This is our middle 50% range of those that studied and that were admitted this past year at AU. The profile stays pretty similar from year to year. And what the profile should tell you is that there are actually no set scores, whether GPA or standardized test scores, required to be admitted to American. When you look at middle 50%, what we're telling you is 25% were admitted with scores above the top end, 25% were admitted with scores below the bottom half. And so, we really do hold ourselves accountable in our review process looking for fit. On the financial side, every single student is automatically considered for merit scholarships, and we meet 100% of demonstrated need. We're a university on the Common App. I am regionally based in Southern California, but if you learn about AU and you don't live in the state, feel free to contact me and I'll direct you to the appropriate person. But American University is a school that values contact. We do capture demonstrated interest as part of our review process. Thank you for learning about my university, and we'll pass it on to the University of Miami.
Thank you.
Sorry, 1 second here. I'm having a little bit of an issue. Just 1 second. I don't know why it's not letting me open it up. Okay, I'll share it like this. I don't know why it's not working. Anyways, hello everyone. My name is Amanda Heckman. I'm an assistant director for undergraduate admission here at the University of Miami. I'm so excited to be with you all today. So I want to start off with some fun facts, at least I think they're fun, about our university. So we are a relatively young university. We were founded in 1925. And to this day, we have around 10,000 undergraduate students representing over 100 countries, making us a mid-sized institution. And this is something that I really do love talking about because I really think it's the perfect size. You get the academic freedom and the opportunities that you would get in a large institution, but you're also going to get the campus and community size of something smaller. So I like to say it's kind of the perfect happy medium. Now, talking about those academic options, we have over 180 majors and programs to choose from, really ranging from all different subjects across 11 schools and colleges, which I'll actually mention in just a bit. So one of the best things about being this mid-sized institution is that we have a 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So you're not just a student in a lecture hall, but you really get to create those intimate relationships with your professors, which of course is important when it comes to networking, getting jobs, research, which I'll talk about as well in a little bit. But it just makes for better academic experience when you can go up to your professor, you can ask them a question, and they truly know who you are. Now, like I was saying before, we have 11 schools and colleges, 9 of which house our undergraduate students. So that's everything from those hard sciences to business, performing arts, sports, music. It really spans all different topics, all different programs, and all different majors. And that's something that's actually really exciting to us here at UM because you can explore all of these things. You don't just have to stick to one program or one major or one school even. And one of the ways in which we do that is actually through our Cognates program of general education. So some universities will probably give you a list of intro classes. They'll say you have to take Math 101 or you have to take Science 101. But we're not going to do that here at UM. Instead, what we have done is that we have divided all of our courses into 3 subject areas. So as you can see on the screen, that's STEM, Arts and Humanities, and People and Society. And so what we do is that you just have to take one class, or actually 3 classes, in each of those categories. So it'll all make a little bit more sense now when I give you an example as pictured on the screen. We have our wonderful mascot, Sebastian. He's a bird, an ibis. He likes to fly, so he chooses aerospace engineering as his major. So because he's in that major, he's automatically going to take more than 3 courses in that subject area. And because it's engineering, it's going to fall into that STEM category. So that cognate is automatically taken care of. Then you know he's a bird, so maybe he doesn't do a lot of talking, but maybe he does a lot of thinking. So he decides to take Introduction to Philosophy for his second cognate. And one of the great things about this structure is that since you're already taking 3 classes, typically a minor is 5 classes. So if you just take an additional 2 courses in that subject area, you've already added a minor to your degree, which is pretty cool. And then finally, he is our mascot, so he loves cheering on the Hurricanes, he loves sports, so he's chosen sports communication for his 3rd cognate. So you can really see how you can truly personalize your education, personalize your cognates to study things that you want, things that you're interested in, instead of just fulfilling general electives like Math 101 or Science 101, like I was mentioning before. You kind of get to pick and choose kind of what you're interested in. Now, outside of the classroom, we have over 300 clubs and organizations. Those span so many different topics. We have social, we have Greek life, special interest organizations. Some of our most popular ones are scuba and salsa, since we are in Miami. And we also have pre-professional organizations to help you start out in your field as well. Also service organizations. So if it's something that you're passionate about, you will find a way to get involved on our campus. Now, talking a little bit about our location, even though we are the University of Miami, we're actually located in Coral Gables, which is just south of downtown, or what you would think of South Beach, the ocean, Miami. We are in a suburb of Miami. So you have that quiet and peace of your neighborhood community, but you just seconds away, you have beautiful Miami with so many activities and opportunities to explore, of course. And that's one of the benefits about coming to school here. You're not just stuck on campus, you have a huge major city to kind of explore outside of our doors. Now, I do want to show you some data, some statistics regarding our last first-year admitted class. Please keep in mind that these stats are for our current first-year students, so that applied for fall 2021, not this upcoming fall of 2022. Those stats will be available near the summer. You can see that we did receive over 42,000 applications for fall of 2021. Just so you can get an idea, we reached over 49,000 applications for next fall of 2022. So you can see the variety of statistics as it kind of relates to GPA, some test scores. Now, one thing that I do want to note here is that we do not only look at numbers, we are looking at your application as a whole. We apply a holistic approach to our admission process. So yes, of course, these numbers are going to be important, but they are not the entirety of your application. We are looking at your GPA, your test scores, if submitted, as we are test optional as well. We're also looking at your letters of rec, your supplemental essay, everything, not just the bare numbers. Now, on top of this, these statistics, I do have some demographics for you, so you can kind of see who makes up the student body here at UM and who you would be joining if you were to become a Miami Hurricane. So one of the things that I do like to point out here is that we are just below 30% Florida residents, which means that over 60% of your class is going to be from different parts of the country, or they're going to be international students as well. So you will get to meet a lot of different people on our campus. Now, the last thing that I do want to cover quickly is our deadlines. So we have 4 different admission deadlines that you can choose from. We have early decision and early action, which are due on November 1st, and early decision 2 and regular decision are due on January 1st. Now, please keep in mind that early decision and early decision 2 are going to be our binding agreements. Now, we are becoming increasingly more competitive year after year. So my big tip to you all is that if Miami is the school for you, if we are your #1 school, apply early, apply by that November 1st deadline. So that's some information about UM. Please feel free to ask me any question through the Q&A or reach out to me via email. My email is right here. And we are currently offering in-person and virtual visits. We would love to have you on our campus. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So now I would like to invite everyone to come back on and do a round of Q&A. And I'll just ask you to go in the same order that you presented in and just share a piece of advice that you would like to give someone going through the college search process.
Okay, I would say start early, keep an open mind, and know that know that you have options, and you have a lot of options out there, whether it's community college, state colleges, universities, privates. You just know that you have a lot of options, and if you start early and keep an open mind, that I'm sure that you will find a college that will work for you in order for you to have a successful educational journey. That's it.
Just to reiterate, you do have a ton of options. Definitely take a look at your options, weigh them as best as you can. I would say best piece of advice I have to offer is if you're really considering any university in particular, make sure that you go and visit it. Make sure that you see the campus in person. Make sure that you feel comfortable there, you feel safe, you feel welcome. Because if you're going to spend 4 years and you're going to spend money and a tuition at an institution, you want to make sure that it has a good feel for you. So I think the best piece of advice I have is make sure you visit.
My piece of advice would definitely be, I know that the college process can be really stressful. I only did it just about a year ago myself. So don't stress. I know that's kind of, ironic because it's a really stressful time, but don't stress because you will end up where you're meant to be. Transferred myself. So just you'll know when you know, and as Francisco said as well, it's great to see the place as well, just so you get the feel of it. Because as soon as you see it and you get your feet on the ground, it'll feel. Someone just mentioned to me this morning, it'll feel like putting on the right size shoe. So as soon as it feels like the right size shoe, you know you've made it.
My piece of advice is to keep a list or Google Doc or something of all of your portals and their passwords, because every school that you're looking at or applying to has a portal. It's on behalf of all institutions of higher learning. I'm so sorry. You're going to have so many portals that you're going to be logging into. It's annoying. I'm sorry. We should probably do better at that. But needless to say, you're going to have that. And we're all going to require you to have different passwords. So that's my piece of advice to you is start a Google Doc now with all the passwords for all the schools that you're looking at. It'll make your life so much easier.
Lots of good advice. I saw lots of parents as participating in this. So my advice would be pay attention to the cost of schools as well. We're nearing May 1st. I've been doing this for 15 years and the conversations And the fall side, when we're recruiting, is often about study abroad, internships, student life, all that stuff, which is very important in finding your fit. But then they kind of change after we release decisions, and it's a lot about money. And I find out a lot that there's a lot of families, students and parents involved that haven't paid enough attention to the cost of the education and the true cost, especially if you already know that you're a no-need family, which many of you may already know that. So I would encourage you to pay attention to costs so that you are applying, or your student is applying to colleges that are actually a financial fit as well.
Those are all great tips, especially the one of creating that Google Doc. I highly suggest that as well. Now ask yourself what's important to you. Make sure it's the right fit. Think about size, think about location, distance from home maybe. That's a big one for some of our students. Majors and programs, diversity, clubs, organizations, school spirit. Those are just a couple of things that I could come up at the top of my head, but really find the perfect fit for yourself. You don't have to settle. Really ask yourself what's important to you in a school.
Great. Well, thank you all so much for joining us, and thank you everyone for sharing. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey, and we'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. We encourage you to check back to the schedule and sign up for more sessions, and you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of our other sessions recording at strivescan.com/fusion. Thanks again, everyone. Have a nice evening.